Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has not been able to give a full shape to the Council of Ministers despite securing the vote of confidence at the House of Representatives for the second time exactly a week ago. Premier Dahal had assured of expanding the cabinet a few days after securing the floor test. However, he has failed to do so and has called a meeting of the ruling alliance tomorrow, as it is expected that the cabinet will get a full shape this Wednesday. Good evening, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. Victims of loan sharks who have arrived in Kathmandu, barred from even entering Khula Manch Turikhel, gear up to meet Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal to demand for justice. Child marriage still in existence in the country. Girls marrying at 15 to 17 years of age, 23%. Most child marriages recorded in districts of Sudur Paschim, Karnali and Madhya provinces. Mass protests and widespread strikes taking place across Israel over controversial judicial reforms. Benjamin Netanyahu-led government in crisis. And Koshi province thrashes Sudur Paschim province by 9 wickets in the Lalitpur Mayor's Cup Women's Championship. Madhya province edges past host Lalitpur by 1 wicket. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal is expected to give a full shape to the Council of Ministers this Wednesday. The Prime Minister's political advisor, Haribol Gujral, has informed that the names of the ministers will be finalized by tomorrow evening and preparations are being made for the ministers to take the oath of office and secrecy on Wednesday. A meeting of the ruling alliance parties has been called for 4 p.m. tomorrow to hold discussions on giving a full shape to the cabinet. According to Gujral, right after the Council of Ministers is given a full shape, the ruling alliance will make public its common minimum program. Gujral also informed that Prime Minister Dahal is making preparations to visit India around mid-April next month. The victims of loan sharks who reached the federal capital Kathmandu on foot all the way from Bardibas, Mohottari have protested in front of Khula Manch Turikhel today. The protest outside the Khula Manch after they protested outside the Khula Manch after they were restricted from entering the premises. After the gate to the Khula Manch was padlocked by the Kathmandu Metropolitan Police, there were shoving and pushing going on in front of Bir Hospital for some time. The victims of loan sharks are all set to demand the Prime Minister regarding implementation of their past agreements and scrapping of a system where loan sharks make paper agreements to fleece unsuspecting victims. They walked all the way from Bardibas for 11 days to come to Kathmandu to make their demands heard. The Kathmandu Metropolitan Police have informed that the victims of loan sharks have been restricted from entering the premises of Khula Manch as they have been given shelter at the Dharmashala or sanctuary at Gaushala. Meanwhile, Mayor of Kathmandu, Balendra Shah, has written on social media that provision has been made at Shanti Batika for the victims to carry out their protest programs. However, the victims have remained in their stance that they would remain in front of the Khula Manch until they are given entry to the premises. They have demanded that the system of tamsuk, an old-fashioned agreement paper made by loan sharks, be scrapped. They have also demanded the government to carry out investigations on the properties and assets of the loan sharks. Several acts, laws and policies have been formed against child marriage in Nepal, and it is recognized as illegal by the Constitution as well. However, considering the data from the report of the National Census, the ill practice is still in existence in the country. Preparation was underway for the marriage of a 16-year-old girl with a 19-year-old boy in Tila Rural Municipality, Ward number 3 of Jumla on 24th of March, when the recent report of the National Census was published, which showed that around 23% of the age group between 15 to 17 were married in Nepal. The wedding in the Tila was stopped by police. Article 39, Sub-Article 5 of the Constitution of Nepal has prohibited child marriage, while other laws have defined marriages before the age of 20 years as child marriage. Such marriages are void, while those getting married and arranging such marriages can be sentenced to 3 years with a fine of 30,000 rupees. Many government and non-government initiatives have been taken to stop child marriages. Despite these efforts, not much has changed. While child marriages hamper health, rights activists are of the opinion that it creates an impact on the national economy in the long term. Most child marriages in Nepal are recorded in districts of Sudur Paschim, Karnali and Madhya provinces. Several communities still consider child marriage as their tradition, which has surfaced as a major challenge. Therefore, it is imperative for the local levels to formulate their plans and projects considering their contexts to curb the alarming rate of child marriages. And it's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before that, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked you, what's your take on the efforts to curb the jurisdiction of the Speaker? 74% voted for A, party interest, 11% voted for B, trying to facilitate meeting, and 15% voted for C, Parliament's internal issue. And here's today's question. What should be done to stop child marriage? Your options are A, strict implementation of law, B, raise public awareness, and C, local levels activeness. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked people in several provinces what programs had their local levels introduced to generate employment opportunities. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
महिलाको लागि ब्युटिशियन अनि त्यसपछि आएर पोते उन्ने तालिम अनि सिलाई बुनाई अनि कृषिको लागि अब ट्र्याक्टर प्रदान
यसरी पाइन्छ कि भनेर हिँडे पनि छैन अनि अनुदान पनि दिए पनि छैन
बाख्रा पालन अनुदान दिए
पूर्वोत्तर विकासतिर पनि विकास गरेको चाहिँ देखियो
वास्तविक बेरोजगारीहरुले चाहिँ खासै रोजगार पाएको चाहिँ मलाई थाहा छैन
गाई पालन कृषि उन्नत चाहिँ के सब राम्रो व्यवस्था छ
भित्र भित्रै आफ्नो मान्छेहरु नातावाद कृपावादमा मात्रै मैले राखेको चाहिँ पाएँ
कुनै किसिमको चाहिँ रोजगारीको अवसर छैन
मेरो नगरपालिकामा कुनै पनि यस्तो सृजनामूलक सिपमूलकहरु कार्यक्रम भएको छैन
अहिलेसम्म त त्यस्तो केही पनि देखिएको छैन
सर्वसाधारण जनतालाई राहत पुग्ने किसिमका कुनै पनि रोजगारीका अवसरहरु सिर्जना गरेको हामीले भेटाएका छैनौं
रोजगारको सिर्जना हुन्छ भनेर हामीले अपेक्षा गरेका थियौं हैन तर त्यो चाहिँ भएको छैन
प्रधानमन्त्री स्वरोजगार कार्यक्रम अन्तर्गत बाटाघाटाहरु अलिअलि निर्माण गर्ने कार्यहरु भइरहेको छ
सेलाइकताई सँगसँगै अल्लो ढाकोको घरेलु अल्लो ढाको र साथसाथै पञ्चे बाचाको तालिम पनि दिइरहेको छ
नयाँ नौलो खालको कामहरु केही ल्या जस्तो लाग्दैन अहिलेको सरकारले
व्यक्तिगत र पार्टीगत रूपमा मात्र काम गरिएको छ
रैथाने बालीहरु उत्पादन गर्नको लागि लघु उत्तम घरेलु उद्योगहरुको चाहिँ स्थापना गरिएका छन्
The Nepal-India Chamber of Commerce, along with different stakeholders like the Indian Embassy in Kathmandu, Nepalese Embassy in New Delhi, and member organizations have released a coffee table book on religious and spiritual circuits between Nepal and India. The book was launched at a special event in the capital chaired by the Minister for Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation, Sudan Kirati. The book consists of information on 5 religious circuits that highlight religious pilgrimage sites from Nepal and India and is expected to support religious and spiritual tourism between Nepal and India.
वाणिज्य संघको अगुवाईमा प्रकाशित अर्थात् प्रकाशनमा आएको यो कफी टेबल पुस्तकमा समावेश गरिएका दुई देशका विभिन्न धार्मिक सांस्कृतिक स्थलहरूले नेपाल र यस्तै भारतका धार्मिक पर्यटकहरूको लागि थप उत्सुकता जगाउने छ भन्ने धार्मिक स्थल सांस्कृतिक स्थलको प्रबन्धन र विकास गर्नमा यसले योगदान दिनेमा म विश्वस्त छु.
There are always challenges in promoting a new destination or theme. But one thing is certain, it is not enough to say, come visit our countries. We must show why. This book does that.
Some of the circuits promoted by the book are Shiva Shakti Circuit, Mahabharat Circuit, Ramayana Circuit, Buddhist Circuit, and the Sikh Circuit. And it's time now for the international update. Mass protests and widespread strikes are taking place across Israel over controversial judicial reforms. Departure flights from Israel's main airport have been suspended, and there have been widespread walkouts in many industries. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu put off a national TV address which was expected earlier this morning. There is speculation he will pause plans to change the legal system, but a far-right coalition partner has said he should not surrender to anarchy. The changes to the judicial system have provoked an outpouring of anger from nearly all parts of Israeli society, including its powerful military. The government, Israel's most right-wing ever, wants to take full control over the committee, which appoints judges. Netanyahu says the changes will stop courts overreaching their powers, but critics say they will help him as he faces an ongoing trial for corruption. In a post on Twitter, he called on protesters on all sides to behave responsibly and refrain from violence.
Sports news.
Koshi province thrashed Sudur Pashchim province by 9 wickets in the Lalitpur Mayors Cup Women's Championship. In the match played at the Tribhuvan University Cricket Ground in Kantipur today, Sudur Pashchim batted first after losing the toss and were bowled out for a paltry 82 runs in 18.5 overs. Sudur Pashchim had a bad start as they were 3 wickets down when only 47 runs were on the board in 10 overs. Sudur Pashchim lost wickets at regular intervals and were finally bowled out for 82 runs. Skipper Bindu Rawal was the leading run scorer for Sudur Pashchim with 30 runs, while Samjana Khadka scored 16 and Ritu Kanojia added 13 runs. None of the other Sudur Pashchim batters reached double figures. Rubina Chetri and Apsari Begum were the pick of the Koshi province bowlers, grabbing 3 wickets each. Chasing a victory target of 83 runs, Koshi province romped home, losing just 1 wicket. Opener Kajal Shrestha top scored with an unbeaten 40 off 50 balls, while skipper Rubina Chetri contributed 28 runs and Apsari Begum was not out on 4. Kavita Joshi was the only Sudur Pashchim bowler to pick up a wicket. Koshi province is in the 2nd spot of the points table, securing 4 points from 3 matches. Sudur Pashchim is in the 3rd position with 4 points from 4 matches. In another match played today, Madhya province edged past host Lalitpur 11 by 1 wicket. Manang Marshangdi Club has stormed into the semi-finals of the Kaptar Gold Cup, defeating Bagmati Youth Club 2-1. In the match played at the Dhangadi Stadium today, Timate Kodule opened the scoring for Manang Marshangdi in the 37th minute. Sirzana Gautam found the net for Bagmati in the 41st minute to level the match at 1-1. In the second half, Saiz Mol scored the decider in the 66th minute to seal Manang Marshangdi Club's 2-1 win over Bagmati Youth Club. Tomorrow's match features a clash between hosts Sudur Pashchim 11 and Nepal Police Club. And it's time now for the weather update. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.